Have you ever climbed into the cabin of a modern tractor and just thought there has to be a better way?
Oh, absolutely. All those individual control boxes, right?
Exactly. And the tangle of cables, different setups for every single implement. It often feels like, well, modern farming should be streamlined, but instead it adds complexity, clutter, right where you need clarity.
Yeah, it can get pretty overwhelming.
Today on the Deep Drive, we're going to cut through that cable chaos. Our mission is to show you how a German innovation called Logibus is truly transforming agricultural technology.
It's quite exciting, actually.
It really is. It's making it possible for, older machines and brand new ones to speak the same language through ISOBUS,
Mm-hmm.
allowing farmers like you to simplify operations, save money, and interestingly, even customize your own equipment.
Which is a big deal.
Yeah. Consider this your shortcut to understanding a vital, yet often surprisingly complicated area of modern farming. The real-world headaches from this interface jungle, as some call it, are pretty significant. I mean, imagine trying to keep an eye on your field, but your view is blocked by 3 or 4 separate control boxes,
Right, that's a common complaint.
or loose cables creating a trip hazard,
Yeah.
or maybe getting snagged when you're trying to connect new equipment.
Yeah, safety is a real concern there.
And the constant struggle, connecting different implements, often with no shared standards. It means every new piece of gear feels like starting from scratch. It's a logistical nightmare, really.
It is. I heard a story recently, similar to what you mentioned, about a farmer spending half a day just tracing one faulty wire in his cabin.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it turned out it was just a loose connection buried in the mess.
Yeah.
That's exactly the kind of headache Logibus aims to eliminate. And what's truly critical here is how this cable chaos, this mess, directly leads to inefficiency. Farmers lose precious time setting up equipment, diagnosing issues.
Time you don't have during busy seasons.
Exactly. Maintenance becomes a massive challenge because, like you said, tracing a fault in that tangled web is incredibly difficult.
Right.
And crucially, it limits the potential for modern precision farming. You simply can't truly optimize your operations when you're stuck with these outdated piecemeal control methods.
Yeah.
It really does leave many feeling, well, stuck with technology that isn't working for them.
It sounds like this widespread problem is really begging for a standard solution then.
Yeah.
Has the industry developed some kind of common language or system to address this complexity?
Absolutely. The industry's answer to this, for quite some time now, actually, has been ISOBUS.
ISOBUS, okay.
Yeah, think of ISOBUS like maybe the USB standard, but for agricultural machinery.
Okay, that's a helpful analogy.
Instead of needing a different cable and software for every single piece of equipment, ISOBUS provides a universal communication protocol. It allows different machines and implements to talk to each other seamlessly.
Ah, okay, so interoperability.
Precisely. And this brings some truly significant benefits. First, you get a much better overview in the cabin. By eliminating all those extra control boxes, you have a cleaner, safer workspace. Just one screen, ideally.
Makes sense.
Second, it offers improved operation because you can utilize your tractor's existing displays and joysticks to control everything rather than adding more hardware.
Right, use what's already there.
Exactly. Third, your cabin stays closed and sealed. No more cables snaking in from outside, which is great for keeping out dust, noise, you name it.
Yeah, it's a definite plus.
And finally, you get faster, safer connections. There's just one single universal plug for all iService implements.
One plug fits all.
Basically, yeah. It virtually eliminates misconnections and those frustrating setup errors.
That certainly paints a picture of a much cleaner, more efficient cab. But, okay, if ISOBUS is so transformative, why haven't we seen universal adoption across all farms yet? What's the holdup?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Right.
And HR Technic, the company behind Logibus, they really dug into this. They found several common reasons farmers and even smaller manufacturers hesitate. A lot of people feel it's simply too complex. They look at it and think, where do I even begin?
Intimidating, yeah.
Very. There's also often a perceived lack of cost-effective controllers. Existing solutions can be quite expensive, a major investment.
Right, the price tag.
Then there's the feeling that they're often one-size-fits-all. They don't allow for the individual customization that specific farms or operators really need.
Not tailored enough.
Exactly.
Yep.
Which leads straight to the next point. This solution just doesn't meet my specific needs. Maybe it does too much or not quite the right thing.
I see.
And tying it all together, as I mentioned, the perceived high investment costs are always a major barrier. It just looks expensive.
So you've got complexity, cost, lack of flexibility, a whole list of it doesn't work because reasons. Is there a company or a new solution emerging that directly tackles these challenges.
Yes, precisely. And that's where Logibus comes into the picture. It's a product from HR Agritechnic GmbH. They were founded relatively recently, in July 2020. Okay.
Their core mission, really, is to make ISOBUS accessible to everyone, not just the big operations.
Making it democratic, in a way.
You could say that. And this isn't just a promising concept on paper. Logibus already caught the industry's eye. It won the prestigious Gill Award in early 2024.
Oh, wow. So it's getting recognition.
Definitely. That's a powerful signal that this isn't just some niche idea,
Yeah.
but it's seen as a potential game changer for how farmers can actually take control of their technology.
And the core philosophy behind Logibus sounds incredibly empowering. I think you mentioned it's like a tool so your device also comes into ISOBUS. It sounds like it puts the power of integration right into your hands.
It really does aim to do that, and it genuinely overcomes those barriers we just talked about. First, Logibus uses image-based programming.
Image-based, so no coding.
Exactly. No complex coding whatsoever. You're basically dragging and dropping functional modules, like arranging digital building blocks to tell your machine what to do.
Okay, like visual programming. Precisely. Even if you've never written a line of code, this enables deep individualization. You can customize even pre-made solutions to perfectly fit your farm's unique needs.
That tackles the one-size-fits-all problem.
Directly. Then, for simple connectivity, the Logibus device itself is WLAN-enabled.
Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
On the controller.
Yeah. So you don't need any extra adapters, cables, or special hardware for programming. You just connect wirelessly from your tablet or laptop. Makes it super easy.
That's clever.
Logibus also offers a flexible modular approach. There's the Logibus Basic package, that's a retrofit kit hardware plus software designed for simpler functions.
Like what kind of functions?
Think controlling a work light directly from your tractor's display, maybe adding basic row control to an older seeding machine. Simple on-off things, primarily. And this version is specifically made for farmers to do themselves.
The DIY aspect.
Exactly. Then you have Logibus Pro and Pro Plus. These are for the more advanced ISOBUS functions. Things like section control, automatically turning sprayer sections on or off.
Okay, precision stuff.
Right. And the DDOP generator, which essentially creates the detailed digital blueprint for those complex ISOBUS operations. It lets your tractor's display handle advanced tasks like UT, Universal Terminal, for displaying info, SC, section control, or TC, task control, for managing jobs.
So more complex logic.
Yes, these higher-level versions do require special, non-free software, and they're generally more suited for those with, let's say, some programming knowledge or for manufacturers.
Got it. Basic for DIY simple tasks, Pro Plus for the heavy lifting and more complex integrations.
That's the idea, a scalable solution.
So we've talked about the big idea behind Logibus empowering farmers, making ISOBUS accessible. But how does this drag-and-drop magic actually work under the hood? Can you help us understand the clever engineering that makes it all possible?
Absolutely. Let's get into the hardware a bit. Logibus offers several adaptable circuit boards. The entry-level one is the dual out.
Dual out.
It's a small board, maybe credit card sized. It has this distinctive orange ring around two outputs, standard outputs. This little board connects directly to the ISOBUS network in the tractor. Simple start.
Right. Two outputs for basic control.
Exactly. For more complex needs, there's the Octa outbox. As the name suggests, it has 8 outputs. Plus, it has 6 inputs, 2 digital, 4 analog.
So more connections in and out.
Definitely. The Octa outbox also includes a second CAN connection. CAN is like another type of internal network.
Okay.
And the second CAN connection lets it talk to additional expansion modules, which they call X boards.
X boards. Like expansion cards.
Sort of, yeah. If you need to expand your system further, but maybe don't need the whole Octa outbox, there's the dual CAN. It's a smaller board that acts as an interface, a bridge.
A bridge between what?
Between the main ISOBUS and that second CAN bus, specifically for connecting those X boards.
Okay. So the X boards connect via the second CAN line.
Correct. And speaking of X boards, these are the expandable modules for specialized functions. For example, there's a specific X board with 16 digital outputs.
16, wow.
Yeah, that one's used in a retrofit kit for a large chopper transport wagon we can talk about later.
Okay.
But the real beauty here is the scalability. All these boards, dual out, Octa outbox, dual CAN, X boards, they're interchangeable and expandable. You can connect up to 8 boards in total.
8 boards. That's a lot of potential I/O.
It is. It allows users to easily add functions as needed. Maybe you want an extra output for a new work light you want to control from your cab.
Just add a board with an output.
Right, or an input for an end switch on an implement. You just plug in the appropriate board.
Very modular. I like that. What about the software side?
Okay, software. Three key components here. First, the ISO designer. This comes from a company called Butcher Automation.
ISO Designer. What does that do?
This is what you use to graphically design the user interface, the screen that appears on your tractor's universal terminal, the VT screen.
So you design the buttons and displays visually.
Exactly, drag and drop elements. And it's free for up to 100 on-screen objects, which is actually quite generous. It's often enough for many applications, including that chopper transport wagon example.
And if you need more than 100,
Beyond that, it's a license fee, about €1,000 per year. But it lets you create completely custom soft key masks, auxiliary functions, really tailor the interface.
okay, that's the screen design. What else?
Second, we have Eclipse VDIAC. This is the core image-based logic software. This is where you do that drag and drop programming we talked about.
The building blocks.
Right, you visually connect functional blocks to define your machine's behavior. What HR Agrotechnic did very cleverly was adapt VDIAC to include specific ISOBUS modules.
Ah, so they integrated the ISOBUS functions into this visual tool.
Precisely, making it incredibly user-friendly for defining even complex machine logic without writing code.
Clever. And the third component.
Finally, there's the WebServer component. This isn't separate software you run. It's built into the Logibus controller itself.
Yep.
Yeah. The controller creates its own WLAN, its own little Wi-Fi hotspot.
Okay.
So this means you can directly upload your configuration files, the IOP file, which is the user interface you designed,
Right.
and the fboot file, which contains the logic from VDIAC. You upload them wirelessly. No extra cables, no special hardware needed for updates or programming tweaks.
Straight from a laptop or tablet to the controller via Wi-Fi.
Exactly. It makes updates and customization remarkably simple and straightforward.
So hardware modules you can mix and match, visual software for the interface and logic, and easy wireless uploads. It sounds like a really well thought out system.
It is. Whether it's that small credit card-sized board for a simple light or a more advanced box with X boards for complex controls, all these pieces work together seamlessly. And the software really lowers the barrier to entry. It's designed to be flexible and hopefully future-proof for your farm equipment.
It's one thing to understand the technical bits and pieces, but they truly come alive when you see them solving real-world challenges. You mentioned a couple of examples. Maybe we can dig into those. Let's look at some case studies that really show off Logibus's versatility.
Definitely. Our first example is that chopper transport wagon I mentioned earlier, specifically a Strautmann Apurian model.
Okay, a big piece of equipment.
Yes. And this entire retrofit was achieved using just Logibus Basic.
The basic kit for a chopper wagon.
Yep. They used it to control 6 different hydraulic functions, things like the steering axle, various covers on the wagon, the hydraulic sidewall, the chopper flap.
Standard hydraulic controls.
Right, but also a PWM-controlled belt conveyor. PWM means pulse width modulation. It allows for incredibly precise speed adjustment. Think of it like a very fine-tuned dimmer switch for the conveyor belt's motor speed.
Ah, okay, so not just on-off, but variable speed control.
Exactly, and even a complex road mode logic.
Road mode, what does that entail?
Well, certain functions need to be blocked or behave differently when you're driving on the road versus working in the field. Safety interlocks, basically.
Right, makes sense.
What's truly impressive here is that even this intricate logic, like blocking specific functions when in road mode, could be implemented with that simple drag-and-drop programming in VDIAC.
So even conditional logic was easy to set up visually.
Apparently so.
Yeah.
And they mentioned the ability to just copy-paste functions within VDIAC made the process incredibly efficient, saved a lot of development time setting up similar controls.
That's a great example of simplifying complexity. What's the second case study?
For our second case study, we look at something a bit different. Retrofitting a hoe, or a Dammkulturet as it's called in German, for a company called Beuter Reparaturservice GmbH.
Okay, a hoeing machine. What was the challenge there?
This was a custom-built hoe, and the goal was to add ISOBUS section control capabilities. They had initially used a very simple bus control system, mostly just for hydraulic testing during development, but it was far from a proper integrated ISOBUS solution.
Right, just basic controls, not precision ag features.
Exactly.
And what's particularly notable about this case, I think, is the collaboration aspect. You hear that smaller manufacturers like Boyder often struggle to get attention from the big automation companies for custom programming, right? Because the project volumes aren't huge.
That's very true. It can be a real challenge for them.
But HR Guard Technic stepped in here with Logibus. It shows that this tool isn't just for the big players, but it actively enables innovation for smaller, specialized operations too. Gives them the tools to compete.
Exactly. That's a key part of their philosophy. So for the Booterho, Logibus, using a dual CAN board, an X board, and one additional board, completely replaced their old simple system.
Okay, a more complex hardware setup than the wagon.
Yes, reflecting the need for section control. And they cleverly leveraged the existing wiring harness, which saved a lot of installation work.
Smart.
Now, this project involved a really iterative software development process. They actually went through 18 versions of the software.
18, wow. Why so many?
Well, each adaptation refined the system based on feedback. They were constantly tweaking it to perfectly match the customer's specific needs in the field and optimize the performance of the section control.
So real-world testing driving the development.
Absolutely. And a key learning that came out of this, which is quite interesting, was that often only about 20 to 30% of a customer's initial wish list of features is actually needed or practical once you get down to the real application and refine it.
That's fascinating. You start with grand ideas, but reality pares it down to the essentials.
Pretty much. Focus on what truly adds value in the field.
And this iterative process, did it lead to any sort of clever practical innovations beyond just basic section control?
Yes, it did. For instance, they figured out how to program it so that even when section control is active and lifting some sections, it always keeps two leading shares, the front tools, in ground contact.
Why is that important?
It maintains steering stability for the implement while it's working in the field. A small detail, but crucial for performance. They also implemented important safety features, naturally, to prevent unintended machine movements. You need that when dealing with complex hydraulics and automation.
Definitely. It really makes you think about how much untapped potential might be sitting in older or custom-built equipment, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Logibus isn't just about brand new tech, but about breathing new life and precision into what farmers or smaller manufacturers already have.
Absolutely. And the outcome for the Boyder project has been a great success. There are around 10 of these retrofitted machines now running reliably out in the field.
10 machines running with custom ISOBUS section control.
Yeah. It really proves Logibus's effectiveness, even for these highly complex custom agricultural applications. It shows it's robust and flexible enough.
It's truly remarkable to see these solutions not just as concepts, but actually making a tangible impact out there.
Yeah.
So looking ahead now, what does Logibus enable next? What's on the horizon for future possibilities with this kind of accessible ISOBUS tech?
Well, we're constantly pushing the boundaries, exploring what else can be done. Current work includes quite a bit on sprayer retrofitting.
Ah, sprayers. That's a big area for precision ag.
Huge. We're focusing on adding section control, of course, but also PWM single nozzle control.
Controlling each nozzle individually with PWM.
Exactly. That offers incredibly precise application. Now, this is quite complex technically. It definitely requires the Logibus Pro or Pro Plus versions due to the logic involved.
I can imagine.
But it's being actively pursued to bring that level of precision to older sprayers that didn't originally have it. Also, flow control for other applications like seeders or spreaders is currently in development.
More precise rate control.
Right. And looking a bit further out, a major leap for precision farming is zone map specific control.
Using field maps to vary application rates automatically.
Precisely. The machine automatically adapts its actions, seeding rate, fertilizer rate, whatever it is, based on detailed digital maps of the field. That's the next logical step, really, moving towards much more optimized and reduced use of resources in agriculture, minimizing inputs, maximizing efficiency.
It really sounds like Logibus is positioning itself right at the forefront of this shift towards smarter, more efficient farming. It's not just about upgrading old equipment, it's enabling these new levels of precision and resource management that are becoming so critical.
That's certainly the goal, to provide the tools to make it happen more easily.
Okay, this has been incredibly insightful. Now let's try and anticipate some questions you, our listener, might be wondering about after hearing all this information. Let's tackle some practicalities.
Sounds good. Let's see. First, a common question we get. Can I, as a farmer, actually program Logibus myself? Is it really DIY?
Yeah, that's key.
The answer is yes, definitely. With the basic version for those simpler tasks we mentioned, adding a switch, controlling a light, maybe a simple hydraulic function, you can do that with the drag and drop VDIAC software.
Okay, basic is farmer-friendly for programming. What about pro?
The more complex functions, using Logibus Pro or Pro Plus for things like section control or complex sequencing, they typically require some programming knowledge or at least a deeper understanding. It's a bit more involved.
Right.
However, even if you purchase a pre-made custom solution, say from a dealer or manufacturer using Logibus Pro, you can often still adapt or tweak it yourself post-purchase using the same tools if you feel comfortable doing so.
So there's still flexibility even with the more advanced setups. Good. Next question.
Second, are there pre-programmed retrofit kits readily available, or do I have to build everything from scratch?
Good one. Like the chopper wagon kit.
Exactly, yes, absolutely. For certain common implements, like that Stroutman Aperion project we discussed, you can buy a complete package, the specific Logibus hardware needed, plus the pre-written software files, the IOP for the screen, the F-boot for the logic.
It's a plug and play, essentially.
Pretty close to it. And a useful feature here is that the system allows you to save versions. If you try customizing it yourself and maybe mess something up,
It happens.
it does. You can always easily revert to the previous working version of the files. It gives you a safety net, some peace of mind when experimenting.
That's very practical.
Mm.
Okay, third question area. How reliable is Logibus in actual field use? Farms are tough environments.
Very reliable. That's crucial, obviously. The core controller chip used on the boards, the ESP32, is actually quite mature technology. It's been deployed for years in other demanding agricultural applications, like tire pressure control systems.
Ah, okay, so it's field proven elsewhere.
Yes, with basically no reported failures, even when subjected to significant vibrations and the harsh conditions you find in the field, they're built to be robust.
Good to know. How about power? Can Logibus control high-power systems or things needing precise flow control?
Yes, it can handle both. For example, those PWM-controlled belt conveyors in the chopper wagon we talked about, that's a prime example of precise flow control already working in the field.
Right, the variable speed.
Exactly. Now, for really high amperages, think maybe 40 amps for big electric motors, perhaps in salt spreaders or large fertilizer spreaders.
Okay, serious power draw.
Yeah. For those specific high current applications, new PWM output modules are currently in development. They're not quite ready yet, but they are actively working on supporting those higher power needs.
So capability is expanding. And finally, what about support? Is training and documentation available if I want to learn more or get started?
Yes, absolutely. Comprehensive documentation is provided with every purchase, explaining the hardware, the software, how to get started.
Manuals and guides.
Right. Additionally, training courses are planned. There's actually one scheduled for this December in Weiselberg, Austria.
Okay, the specific date.
Yes. And more courses are planned for next year, though the specific dates for those haven't been released just yet. So yes, support and learning resources are definitely part of the package.
Excellent. That covers a lot of the practical ground. What an insightful deep dive this has been into how Logibus is really working to make advanced agricultural technology genuinely accessible.
It's an interesting approach, for sure.
It really seems to offer a practical, modular, and, importantly, approachable path to ISOBUS integration. It feels like it genuinely empowers farmers and also those smaller manufacturers to customize and optimize their machinery directly, taking control back.
That empowerment piece is key, I think.
Agreed. So, thinking about that, here's a final thought for you, our listener. With the power to customize and innovate directly on your own farm equipment now potentially within reach, thanks to tools like Logibus, what's the next unsolvable problem you would tackle? What challenge on your farm could this kind of tailored automation help revolutionize?
Makes you think, doesn't it?
It does. We really encourage you to keep exploring the vast possibilities that ISOBUS, and especially these newer, more accessible tools like Logibus, offer for the future of your operation.